Hi, welcome to 7 Facts. This is the place where you'll find an awesome collection of facts about every single country on Earth. Today's episode is about the Canadian territory of Nunavut, but there's a playlist containing all of the Canadian videos, so be sure to check it out. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one. I upload twice a week, so it'll be worth it. Nunavut is the newest, largest and northernmost territory of Canada. The territory was separated from the Northwest Territories on April 1st, 1999. The people of Nunavut have expressed their desire to have their own separate territory since the 1950s. It took a couple of decades until, in 1982, a territory-wide referendum was held on the issue. The majority of the people voted in favor of division, but it took another 10 years until a land claim agreement was reached, at which point another referendum was held. A period of transition followed until finally, in 1999, Nunavut officially became a Canadian territory on its own. Since 1999, the territory has been slowly catching up to the rest of the country, but this place does remain different from the rest of the Confederation. First of all, it's huge. With over 2 million square kilometers, Nunavut is actually larger than Mexico, and if independent, it would be the 13th largest country on Earth. But there are only 38,000 people living in these vast frozen lands. The vast majority of these people are native Inuit who still try to preserve their traditional way of life. Many of these people don't speak English or French fluently, so having a good knowledge of the local Iqaluit or Inuit languages is a must. Their way of governing themselves is different too. There are no political parties, only individual representatives. They also have a council of 11 elders, whose role is to incorporate Inuit traditional knowledge into the territory's political decisions. For all intents and purposes, Nunavut is a country within a country. Iqaluit is the capital city of Nunavut. It's also, by the way, the only city in the entire territory. Before it became the capital in 1999, Iqaluit was a small unknown settlement with a highly limited growth. But even today this capital is very isolated. There are no roads or railroads connecting it to the rest of Canada, and ship connections are limited to only a few months of ice-free waters. The only reliable way of getting to Iqaluit is by airplane. Even so, over 7,700 people call this city their home. Speaking of isolation, Iqaluit isn't the only place in Nunavut that has this problem. There are virtually no roads in Nunavut and no railroads, so getting anywhere is problematic to say the least. Shops and stores usually get their supplies in a single shipment by air or sea that need to last for an entire year. This fact causes some of the most insanely high prices in the world. For instance, 1 liter of milk costs about $3 as is a small Pepsi bottle. A beer can cost you $7 and a bag of Doritos about $5.50. And if you're a fan of olive oil, forget about it. That'll cost you $18 or more. How these people manage to survive on such high prices is beyond me. As I said, despite its extreme isolation, Nunavut is culturally diverse. Along with French and English as official languages, the local languages of Iqaluit and Inuit are also official. So don't be surprised if you see any bilingual or even trilingual signs. But don't expect to be able to read it either. These languages use a script called Iqaluit syllabics that is vastly different from the Latin script. But don't be frightened, although it looks strange, it's actually not that hard to learn. As if the sky-high prices in the stores weren't enough, Nunavut also has a problem when it comes to heating. Most of the territory is above the Arctic tree line, meaning it's way too cold for trees to grow here. So the people must rely mostly on diesel fuel to run generators and heat homes. Of course, the shipments of the fuel also come by plane or boat, so the prices for this commodity is also way too big. This is kind of an irony because these fossil fuels contribute to the global climate change that directly affects the people of Nunavut. The thinning of ice and erosions from permafrost melting are impacting the way of life of these people in a big way. Thankfully, the local government is trying to use more renewable energy sources, but precisely due to their location and isolation, this task is challenging to say the least. In a territory larger than Mexico, the number of roads spread across the territory barely amounts to 850 kilometers. Most of these roads are ice roads or unpaved dirt roads, so getting around Nunavut is difficult. Most vehicles in the territory are moved from community to community and in and out of the territory by large barges that move during the summer shipping season. Rough roads and harsh weather result in expensive upkeep for vehicles, so the preferred and less expensive ways of travel are by airplane, ATVs and snowmobiles. But why aren't there enough roads here? Basically, the problem is that building and maintaining roads in such a large but sparsely populated area would cost way more than maintaining the current means of transportation. These were 7 facts about Nunavut. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. Share your thoughts downstairs in the comment section and afterwards check me out on Facebook and Twitter. A good way to offer more support to this channel is through Patreon, link in the description. I hope to see you next time. Bye.